This simple mod totally changed how my car looks and elevated it to the next level. And today I'm going to show you how to do it and what I did. It is so simple, so easy. Stick around to the end to see how it looks. That's right, a really simple mod I've actually gone ahead and I've wrapped my roof gloss black. It's a little bit dirty right now, but you can see it is in fact black. This is blue right here. It is such an awesome little mod, and I'm gonna show you how to do it, how I did it, and how it looks. So of course, if you wanna see the full process and see how it looks at the very end, it looks awesome. Make sure to stick around until the end. I'm wrapping the roof on my BMW F10 535i. Finally, I've been thinking about this for a very long time, but I haven't done it because I was thinking, probably the same thing you're thinking. It's like, hey, your car is pretty dark. Are you really gonna see a difference? Is it really worth it? And I've thought about this long and hard. In certain lighting, the car looks black. In certain lighting, it looks almost like that blue right there. So honestly, let me give y'all my 2 cents. Here's the car, right? It's Imperial Blue Metallic, right? And it's a pretty dark color. And I was thinking you might not see the difference between that and if I wrap the roof gloss black, which is what I'm gonna do. The difference between the gloss black and the blue in my head is not really all that much. But then I look at my car and I'm thinking, what's like, well, the sunroof is black. Well, it's glass, but it looks black. You can see the difference between that and the car. The mirrors are black, and you can see the difference between that and the car. My lip spoiler is black, and you can see the difference between that and the car. So with this logic, if the roof is black, you'll see the difference between the black and the blue. Obviously, it's not gonna be an enormous difference, like if the car were white, or like, you know, Yas Marina. It's not gonna be some insane contrast, but it's gonna be a really nice little touch. And you would notice the difference, because if right now it were black, you would notice it's black, and it would be all one nice color. So after some long and hard thinking, I decided, you know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna wrap the roof on my F10 535i. And so I got the wrap and I got an antenna. Yeah, I got an antenna because I'm gonna give y'all a real quick rundown. I'm gonna wrap the roof, obviously, with the sunroof open, obviously. The antenna though, not obvious. I'm not gonna wrap the antenna. That's a lot of work and it's not gonna come out as good as I want it to. And either way, removing it is not that bad. You just get a little X-Acto knife and you cut around the bottom. It's actually just held on with some double-sided tape. Once that tape is off, you can take this off. And I got a cover at first for this, just to go on top, but I thought, you know what, if I'm gonna be removing it, I might as well replace it. So I bought a secondhand antenna from an F10 535i in gloss black. This was actually literally from a car that was just black. So it's a great idea. I got this on eBay, used for like 18 bucks. And that's a way better idea than getting a cover for this. So I'm gonna be removing this and replacing it entirely with this. Obviously, I'm gonna put the wrap on first, and then I'm gonna, you know, cut out the little holes and everything for this. It's not actually that bad at all. As for this side piece, I can actually just lift this up and pop it off all the way across, or so I've heard. I don't know how easy or hard that would be, but that's what I've heard. So I'm gonna try doing that. As for this is really easy. You can just, you know, cut along here. I'm not a wrapper or anybody who's ever wrapped anything, so I mean, I've tried wrapping the interior trim on my car. It came out okay, but it wasn't perfect, so I took it off, and now it's, you know, the regular wood again. But other than that, I've never really wrapped many things, so this is gonna be a learning experience. It doesn't look too hard. I've done all the research I possibly can about tips and tricks and everything. I've already clayed the car, but it got dirty, very dirty, and it's raining right now. But anyway, I'm gonna be washing the roof, and I'm gonna be taking off everything that I need to, opening the sunroof and everything, and I'm gonna be using this Vivid Ultra Gloss Black wrap. Oh my gosh, it looks so good in the pictures. It has little air channels for easy application or whatever, and no bubbles. It's some annoying thing, but whatever. I got, I think, 6x6 because I need enough to go across, of course, the width of the car, and it'll roll out all the way across. Or it might be 5x6. I'll put the link to this in the description below. I got this on Amazon. Gloss black, very happy, very excited. I've been wanting this for a while. And you know those mods that you want to do and you have in your head that you really want to do, and they might be sitting at home, and every time that you look at your car, you're like, wow, it would look so much better if it had that mod on. I wish I did that mod already. This is one of those mods. Every time I see it, before I had this idea, I was like, wow, the car looks great. But now that I have this idea in my head, the car looks, it could look better. It could be gloss black, and this is the cycle that you and I, we all experience, liking cars and modifying cars. It will never end. And also, I'm not gonna be wrapping this side piece. I've seen some people wrap it, but I think that makes the A-pillar look way too thin, and it just kind of like sets the balance off of everything. So I'm gonna keep that, you know, blue. I'm only gonna be doing the center part of the roof, just the actual roof. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and wash the roof, open up the sunroof, and start taking off the antenna and the side trim pieces. Wish me luck. Let's do it. But of course, before we can go on any further, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you guys stay notified when the next few videos about this car drops, because there are so many more mods. I'll show y'all a sneak peek. That's all y'all get, but there are so many more mods coming. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so y'all stay notified. Oh, and very important, I did forget to mention, I'm not gonna be using the same gasket seal for the sunroof. I'm actually going to be replacing it because it's going to be a lot easier for me to remove the seal, which is put on my double-sided tape, and wrap into the actual roof, you know, where the sunroof goes, and then put the new seal over it. So I'm going to be cutting the seal, well, not cutting, I'm going to be tearing the seal off and replacing it. So I got that seal on Amazon for like something like, I think $19 or something. But yeah, the sunroof seal, which is attached to the actual perimeter of the roof itself, I'm taking that off, gonna wrap into it, and then put a new seal over that for the best finish possible. I want this to look perfect. All right, so the roof is clean, but it is so humid. I don't know if you can tell, but it is so humid that literally nothing is drying. But the roof is clean. It looks a little dirty, but it's totally clean. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna remove this and take this guys off. But after that, we can just go ahead, put the wrap on and start wrapping and cutting. This is so easy. Literally just get a trim piece tool and just go to the back of the car, put it underneath right here, lift it up, and just keep pushing up. It is so simple. It comes out so easily, and everything should stay in. You can see these weird little brackets. It's a really weird system. I've never seen this before, but these brackets pretty much, these clip into the car itself. So make sure all the brackets are still on, which mine are. Came out first try. Really happy actually. So now we can go ahead and start removing other things like the antenna. All right, so we are finally ready to start wrapping. I have removed the side trim, which is actually way easier than I thought. I removed the antenna, which was actually way harder than I thought. This glue or double-sided tape is such a pain to remove. It was so hard to get off, but I finally got the antenna off. And of course, I have the new antenna right over there, the gloss black one, which I'm gonna be using. The connectors, everything is fine. Obviously, when you put this back, make sure to reconnect everything. The roof is clean. It doesn't look clean, but it is very clean. And the main thing is that there are no contaminants anywhere on it. So I'm gonna go ahead, open up the sunroof. I'm gonna put something on that little thing that pops up so that it stays down, obviously doesn't get on the wrap. And then, well, I mean, it's the only thing left to do would be to actually put the wrap on, get the wrap, open it up, put it on, and I'm going to start with the front. It's the same thing really. I mean, front and rear pretty much. I'm slightly nervous because I only have one entire roll, obviously, and I don't want to mess it up because I want it to look perfect. All right, so like I said, I am slightly nervous, but let's do it, I guess. Let's do it. All right, it's time. You can see I've mocked it up right now, and it's not fully black right now, obviously because it has a little protective layer that I'm gonna keep on. But whenever I'm done, I'm gonna take off the protective layer. Let's stick it on. All right, so I'm gonna be completely honest. I messed up really badly. I could not do it. It wasn't as easy as it looked, even though I said it was, but it really was not. So I put everything back together and it's back to stock, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to continue, but this time I'm gonna take a much different approach. This time what I'm gonna do is I got the exact same wrap, the Vivid wrap, which by the way, is one of the, you know, lower tier economy wraps, but that's okay because for what I'm gonna do, this is the right and perfect one. What I'm gonna be doing, instead of putting it on dry and sticking it everywhere, I'm gonna use the wet method, which isn't really used all that often for whatever reason. I don't know why. Not many people wrap their cars with the wet method, but it's on paper a lot easier. I mean, you just wet the roof, you wet the back of the vinyl, and you put it on, and it slides around, so you can completely squeegee all of the air out, and there's no wrinkles, it's not sticking. I don't see why more people don't use the wet method, so I'm gonna try and use the wet method. If I can't do it, I give up, and the roof stays blue. But I should be able to, and I'm really confident because now I know what I'm doing, and I know what to expect, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and wash the roof since the car's been driving and it's pretty dirty. I'm gonna go ahead, wash the roof, and then we can start applying the wrap with some soap and water. I'm gonna spray it all over the roof, I'm gonna spray it all over the wrap, and then we can go ahead and do it. Of course, after taking off the antenna and taking off this new seal, which I just put on, I'm gonna have to take it off and replace it. I already got the new one again, so it's the new one. But yeah, I did a pretty good job with this one, actually. I'm very proud of it, but I gotta take this off again and redo everything. So let's go ahead, take the car apart again. Not the car, let's take the roof apart again. All right, right, so obviously, while I'm editing this video, I noticed that the file where I've actually time-lapsed the entire installation of the roof is corrupt. As it were, you know, obvious, right? Murphy's Law. That one file is corrupt, but car's done. I'm not gonna show y'all yet. Stick around to the end to see that. But I will describe how I did it very, very simply and very, very quickly. Pretty much I got the wrap, and of course I had my friend Manshir hold it up for me and me as well. And we sprayed water with soap, dish soap, all over the back of it, and we also sprayed water with dish soap all over the roof. Once we did that, we laid it on top of it, and then we started moving it around, and we squeegeed the entire thing. So all of the water and soap, well, soapy water, we squeegeed all of it straight out, and it came right out, and of course it left it looking beautifully perfect and flat. This is what y'all get for now, but of course I'll show y'all more later. It actually worked so much better than the dry method, and that's because with the dry method, it's actually this vinyl is not the best for it. It's a very low, let's say low quality economy vinyl. It's not like some crazy expensive brand where you can put it on, stick it off, put it on, stick it off multiple times and get the right shape. This unfortunately is not that. It is too thick. So of course I went for the wet method, and that worked a lot better, and it was a lot easier to put it on. In fact, it was pretty much perfect. Very simple, and like I said, there was really no huge weird process other than just putting dish soap and water on the back of the vinyl where it sticks, and on the roof, putting the vinyl on, moving it around, and squeegeeing the whole thing, you know, dry. That's it. And then of course, right around underneath here, I went and I cut along here. I also of course went ahead and I cut along here, and I just put this right in the back underneath the rubber, and it actually is pretty perfect. It looks great. Same with this guy, the antenna. I just put my Gorilla Tape all around it. I put 2 layers, not on top, but sideways, so that no water can get in, and it's held on pretty well, knocking on wood or metal. It's actually held on pretty well, and it looks fantastic, of course, with the black antenna. And the car is a bit dirty right now because it's been raining non-stop, and I cannot get a chance to get a dry shot until now. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous, but it's gonna rain in like an hour. So unfortunately, I can't show y'all this totally dry. If y'all do want to see totally dry, check the Instagram right here at MotoRevsYT so y'all can see more. But like I said, we just went ahead and we did it the wet method. There's a lot of videos on YouTube, actually. I used a video on YouTube to get some inspiration and some help because I'm not a rapper. I don't know how to, you know, wrap cars or stuff for cars. And that video helped a lot, actually. I don't remember which video it was, but there are a lot of videos if y'all want an actual precise tutorial on how to wet method wrap your roof. I'm not a tutorialist. I'm just showing y'all how I did it and how it came out. And honestly, I am so happy with how it came out. But let's carry on with the video. All right, so here's what we have so far. We've already taken the little clear protective cover on, but we actually managed to get it on pretty well for the most part, you know, of course, with Manshir's help and my dad as well. But you can see it looks pretty good. I'm actually not too displeased with it. It looks way better than I thought, honestly. But we're still right now in the process of figuring out the little corners, tucking everything in underneath the rubber, you know, the seals and everything. And I'm gonna try to figure out right now, I'm trying to figure out the sunroof, how to keep this, you know, wrapped in so that it stays on, and then that way I can put the new rubber seal on top of the vinyl. Of course, you know, holding the vinyl in even further because I want this to last and I want it to look good. And you can see it's really shiny. You can see the reflection very nice. And you can see Manshir's face. It looks really, really good. So I'm gonna keep going at it. We're gonna see how to make this just perfect. Like I said, only thing left is just to figure out these little nooks and crannies. But once that's done, then that should be it. Then we should be done. All right. So let me go over what we have done so far. Everything is pretty much complete, I would say, except for all the auxiliaries, like, you know, the trims here and, you know, the little rubber seal around the sunroof and the antenna, of course, which I'm working on right now. You can see I'm figuring out, you know, getting everything nice and laid down, ready to put the antenna on with the double-sided tape, the Gorilla Tape. I'm gonna make sure my very, very best to not let any water seep in because that would be really, you know, annoying. So I'm gonna make sure to seal this up as best as possible inside here, and then also as well on the actual antenna. This is the stock antenna. Obviously you can see it's dark blue, and this is the new one that I got. Well, new to me. It's, you know, regular gloss black. It did come from an F10 528, I think, but it's the exact same antenna, same part number and everything, except this one, obviously the one that came with the car is blue. This one is black, because obviously if I were to put a blue antenna on a black roof, you can't really tell with this lighting, but it would look really funny. Obviously it would be much better to use a black antenna on a black car. So what I've done is I've actually taken the OEM one and I've copied what I did here, where I removed all of the excess, I guess like it was like a gasket more than anything from this one, and I did the exact same thing here. You can see with a knife, I got rid of the excess, and now it is smooth and, you know, flat, ready for double-sided tape to be put on. And of course this just slides on over right on top of that, just like that. Very excited, very good that I'm at this point now, and you can see everything is done. There's only one problem. For some reason, the little rubber seal here, or I guess, I don't know what it's called, I guess the seal, it got down here for some reason and it's not coming back up. I'm gonna figure out what to do there. But everything, you know, besides the wrapping is done. Like the wrapping is totally complete. It's ready to be put back together. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start putting these trim pieces on, figuring out the antenna, and then of course I'm gonna put the new seal, which I still haven't shown y'all, is right here. Got this from Amazon and it has its own double-sided tape ready to go. So I'm gonna, you know, take this off. It's a little bit bigger than this one, which, you know, it's more or less universal, but you can also use it for the F15, the F10, the F30, the F06, whatever, the F12, whatever. So it's just a very universal thing, but it is the right one, right shape, right size, right color and everything. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on all the way around here, making sure that the seam is here in the back in the middle, so you can't even see it. But I'm very excited. Car is disgustingly dirty, obviously, but I gotta stop talking and I gotta put this car back together. And so that is it. The wrap is done. Check this out. It looks so good. Check it out. I showed you a little bit earlier, but look at this. Here's the black, obviously. Here's the blue. I will say one thing. This wrap is not as black as I would have wanted. It's not like a deep gloss black. It's more of a very dark navy blue, which is a little bit annoying considering that my car is a dark navy blue, but you can see it under certain lighting. As you know, I would say right now, you can tell that the car is blue and the roof is black. Unfortunately, not all lighting permits this clear contrast between the two. In fact, sometimes it looks like it's just blue. Under some lighting, it looks just blue and blue, like navy blue with navy blue, and you don't really see a difference, which is a little bit annoying. But if I were to have gotten a higher quality wrap, of course, a deeper black, it would have been a lot more obvious, but I didn't. But it's okay, because you still can't tell that it is a black roof and a blue car. Obviously, if the car were white, orange, green, purple, you would see it a lot better. But it's okay, I'm still very pleased with it. And here's what I'm talking about. From this angle, it's a little bit hard to tell that the roof is actually black and the car is blue. Which, by the way, everyone assumes my car is black. Everyone. And I can kind of understand. So it's a little annoying that my car looks black and my roof looks blue. They'll always meet in the middle. It's a little bit annoying. But of course, like I said, if you have a different color car, it's gonna work a lot better and look a lot better. But the roof is black and it is now wrapped. It looks so good. Of course, I put this seal on all the way around. Very simple, and I'm actually really pleased with the quality of the seal. Very nice. From this angle, you can kind of tell, you can kind of not tell. If I lower the exposure, you can kind of tell a little bit more. Black roof, blue car, looks just awesome. Especially at night under certain lighting, you really can tell the difference, and it looks so good. And honestly, it's the very little mods like this, well, not little, I say, but the changes that would seem to be little always have the biggest effect on the entire car, and I will always stand by that. The smallest things always make the biggest difference. Now, you could say that this isn't really a small mod. Size-wise, it's a little bit big, but it wasn't that bad, honestly. If I didn't do the dry installation first, this would have taken me 3 hours, 4 hours max. I mean, it really is not all that bad. It's just I tried doing it the dry method the first time. And also, I apologize for the noise in the background. There's a lot of bugs around, but it's on and it looks great. Everything is actually tucked in really nicely all the way around. I showed you all the antenna earlier. Antenna is on black. This is actually a pure deep gloss black, so you might be able to see the difference between the actual gloss black and the really dark blue. But all in all, I'm really pleased with how it looks. It's a small thing. Some people notice, some people don't. I did it because I like it, and it looks really cool when you can tell, which isn't always, but it's a lot of the time. Please understand that obviously my car is very dark, and that is a not totally black wrap, which is annoying, but it is what it is. But honestly, I think other than that, that is about it. I wrapped the roof and I showed y'all how I did it. Very simple. It really does bring out a little bit more of a luxury sport kind of vibe whenever you see it, especially when you can actually tell that the roof is black. But like I said, other than that, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so y'all stay notified when the next few videos about this car drops, and the M4 and the Mini. There's so much more content coming. Y'all don't want to miss it. So, like I said, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in the next one. Take care.